Okay.
So guys, obviously Dateline, how many years now? 26 years?
26 years.
Mm-hmm. So what do you think it is that makes this type of show so popular?
We live in a world in which nothing works the way it is supposed to. I mean, Washington hasn't worked the way it's supposed to for a long time. There's too many people, too many kids in your child's class. There's too many people on the expressway in front of you. But for 1 hour a week, or sometimes 2 hours, Friday nights, the cheating, lying, murderous spouse gets what's coming to them, and the world works the way it should.
And so there's been kind of this rise in, I guess, the podcast era, these sort of citizen journalists that have kind of given new life to cold cases. What are your thoughts on that? Is this a good thing? You see like The Up and Vanished, which I think, did a great job in helping shed new light on the story. But at the same time, there's some dangers in kind of approaching, from a point of view that maybe is not traditional.
I think it's great. Anything that helps bring justice for people, why not? I mean, if you can shake the trees and get a confession or a conviction, I mean, more power to you. Those podcasts are fascinating.
I've got to say, I've never heard a podcast. I'm not interested in the genre of police procedurals, not to get too Bolshevik here. I'm more interested in when the universe is ripped apart, what Josh is talking about, these taboos, murder. It sets in motion our stories in Dateline where you meet people, you meet the characters, you meet the cops, you meet the prosecutors. And I'm much more interested in that than I am solving the police procedure. We're going to solve the police procedure, but I want you to meet the people that we met along the way.
Well, and
for me, that's what
they
it's
do
about.
that on podcasts. I mean, they interview similar
Podcasts
people that we do.
Pretty interesting.
You know,
Even Mankiewicz goes on podcasts occasionally.
Of course he does.
Yeah.
Well,
he seems to like it.
Yeah. Here's who doesn't like it is, him.
I'm fascinated by the fact that there's actually less crime than there used to be, but people are way more interested in it than they ever used to be. And way more interested.
Why do you think that is?
Well, maybe, as Josh was saying, it's a very disordered world, and we don't quite know how to deal with it. But are these, just these stories where we can see a beginning, a middle, and an end, and
That's
some
what it has
satisfactory
has to be a
conclusion.
story.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the podcasts are terrific, and I think that all the sort of citizen journalism that's focused attention on different murders, particularly unsolved murders or really old cold cases, I think that's great. I mean, there's way more stories than the four of us can do. Frequently, stuff like that is a jumping off point for us. We still have to apply our journalism to it, and it has to meet the standards of Dateline and NBC News. But there's no question that work done by other people can be a starting point for great stories.
And not turning into stories, just the whole category of raw cell phone video that's now out there.
Right. Which allows us to tell stories in a way that like never
could have
There's a
done
camera
so.
on everything these days.
right.
Yeah, over the course of 26 years, the ability to tell a story is so markedly improved
changed.
because of this
Yeah.
kind of stuff, right?
So, okay, one last thing. So, Florida, we kind of get a name, for ourselves.
Wait a second, this is my home state. Is this
Right,
going in
well,
the-
so Florida, the crazy crimes, all of this.
Without Florida and Texas, we'd be off the air.
But do you
We could do
think-
seasons of Dateline based in Florida alone.
It's true,
Isn't
but do you
the
think
expression "because, Florida"?
it's Florida Man? Are you familiar with Florida Man?
of course.
But
Florida,
do you
Florida.
But do you think it's because we have like the Sunshine Laws and more access that gives the media more
That
access?
is a big part of it. I mean,
Yeah.
you can get access to material that you can't in other states.
I think
That is a big
the
part of it.
states just also draw certain people
Yeah.
to them.
It's
Very,
a-
it can be transient.
Florida's an end of the road place. You have these people that are kind of tumbleweed people, as I think. That they can't. If they go any further, they're going to be in the Gulf of Mexico if they're in your part of the world. And when they're backed up to the water, things happen.
It's very true.
They're ruthless.
Yeah, I find it fascinating that Florida's a lot like that. So is Alaska on the other corner, backed
exactly,
up against
yeah.
the other ocean.
It was, I mean, it was true in people used to say in the 70s and 80s, that, California was where all the crazy people were. But now it's definitely Florida.
Yeah.
All right, one last question for Keith. The Keith Leans on Things Instagram. Where do you think? Where does your signature style come from? Is that just you? Like, why?
This whole thing is very strange.
There
I
is-
don't
It
quite-
is.
yeah.
There is,
strange.
there is nothing you could have said that would have made him more uncomfortable than that. So please continue. Yeah.
I don't know what to think about that. I'm going to think about it for a while, okay?
Well, I love your style, if that means anything.
Your turn next, Andrea. There, look at it.
I'll just lean on him.
All right.
Here we go.
That's good.
One more, come on.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
I'm afraid I'll knock them all.
Brought to you by Bill Withers.
All right, thank you guys so much.
Bye.